Okay, so during last class, you read this article. It was about Betsy DeVos and her selection as Secretary of Education as part of President-elect Trump's presidential cabinet. And it was written by Douglas N. Harris, and in his article, he was arguing that Betsy DeVos was the wrong choice for Secretary of Education. When you read the article last class, you basically marked it up and you were looking for some different things as you read through it. You read through it a couple times and you were looking for places in the article where Harris was using evidence. So those are things like facts or examples to support his claim that Betsy DeVos is the wrong choice. Places where he was using reasoning or logic to develop the ideas that were already there or to connect his claims with his evidence. Maybe it was by offering a contrasting viewpoint or a comparison of some kind, what have you. Or you were also looking for stylistic or persuasive elements, so maybe things like specific word choices that he was using, or places in the text where maybe he's attempting to appeal to your emotions, or other rhetorical strategies that he may have been using to attempt to be persuasive. Today you're going to do some writing about this article, and you're going to use the notes that you've already taken to answer the essay task, which is right here. Now before you freak out, I'm not going to ask you to write a full-blown essay like you would on the SAT, where you write for 50 minutes and it's several paragraphs long. Today you're just going to write one paragraph, okay? It's going to be one very focused paragraph focusing on just one element of the text that answers this essay task. So let's take a look. And I'm going to just go ahead and change this for you right now. It says write an essay. We're going to say write a paragraph. Write a paragraph. So write a paragraph in which you explain how Harris builds an argument to persuade his audience that Betsy DeVos is a poor choice for Secretary of Education. In your essay, analyze how, this is the key right here, analyze how Harris uses one or more of the features listed above or features of your own choice to strengthen the logic and persuasiveness of his argument. Be sure that your analysis focuses on the most relevant features of the passage. Your essay should not explain whether you agree with Harris's claims, but rather explain how the author builds an argument to persuade his audience. So, again, this is not an essay where you're going to agree or disagree with Harris. You're not going to talk about whether you think Betsy DeVos is a good choice or a poor choice for Secretary of Education, but you're just going to talk about how Harris goes about building his argument. What things is Harris doing to attempt to be persuasive? Okay. Now this says explain or analyze how Harris uses one or more of the features listed above. That's these features here. Okay. You're only going to do one. Okay, because you're not writing a full-length essay. You're writing one paragraph, so you're going to focus on one feature in your essay that he uses to attempt to be more persuasive in his writing. So you might choose to write your essay about, or your paragraph about how he uses evidence, like facts or examples, how he uses reasoning, how he uses specific word choices, or maybe he's appealing to your emotions, or some other, if there's something else in the article that you thought he was doing to be persuasive, you could write about that as well. Okay, but you're just going to choose one thing to focus on, and you're just going to write one paragraph. So it's an essay, again, that analyzes how Harris attempts to be persuasive. So it's focused on the text, and your essay should also be focused on the text. So there's a formula that I've got that will allow you to make sure that you are staying focused on the text itself. So this is writing a text-focused paragraph. Basically, there's 4 things that you need for a solid text-focused paragraph for any type of writing that you'll do for the SAT, and really for a lot of the writing that we will do in this class from this point forward. The first thing you need in any good paragraph, and this goes all the way back to when you were probably in elementary school, but you need to have a clear topic sentence. You need to establish a clear focus for your paragraph. Without that, I, as a reader, have no idea really what your paragraph is about or what your purpose is. But it's also important for you because it helps to keep you on track. It helps you to have something to look back on and say, does this belong in this paragraph? Let me check my topic sentence. because that's really sort of the map for the rest of your paragraph. Okay, a little bit more on topic sentences here, actually. Let's jump ahead. So you're writing a single paragraph essay, and in a single paragraph essay, there's 3 things that you definitely want to make sure you include in your topic sentence. I call it the ATT method just to kind of remember, but you definitely want to include the author's name, the title of the article that you read, and then the topic for your paragraph. So I have just a random example here because I don't want you to just copy and paste what I come up with about Harris's article, but I think it still illustrates the point. So this says, in Jane Swanson's article, The Importance of Early Childhood Education, she uses large amounts of statistical data to argue that the federal government should allocate more funding for educating children from ages 1 to 4. So I've got it color-coded, right? The author, Jane Swanson, the title of her article, The Importance of Early Childhood Education, and then I've established the topic for the paragraph. So the rest of the paragraph is going to be about how she uses statistical data to make her argument. Okay. Now, to apply that back here, you're writing about Harris in his article. So maybe you decide that you're going to write your essay about how Harris uses examples of things that Betsy DeVos has done in her past that show that she's maybe not the right choice for Secretary of Education. Okay, so that's in your topic sentence. Great. The next thing you need to have is evidence of that. So if you say that he talks about, if you say that he uses examples of things she's done in the past, show me. Show me the places in his article where he does that. Or if you say that he is attempting to appeal to our sense of emotion throughout the article, show me where he does that. Put the quotes in from the text that prove your topic sentence. Okay, this is key. Now, the next part, the explanation, is really the most important part of any paragraph that you're going to write for the SAT to demonstrate analysis. And if we go back to the prompt, look at these words. Explain how, analyze how, explain how. That little phrase appears 3 different times, and that's because it's the most important part of your essay, the analysis. It requires the highest level of thinking, and it is crucial. So, you've got your topic sentence. Maybe you're talking again about how he uses examples of things that Betsy DeVos has done in her past. You show me the places where he does that, and now you need to analyze how do those examples contribute to his purpose of persuading you that Betsy DeVos is the wrong choice. What can we infer about Betsy DeVos and her stance on public education? What do we learn about her goals and what she has tried to accomplish in the past? What could we maybe predict or infer about the future of education at the national level based on the things that Betsy DeVos has already attempted to do here in Michigan, right? So it requires some thinking, but it's crucial. It's the most important part of your paragraph, okay? And ultimately, it's for you to determine why Harris made the choices that he did and how, right there, how those examples or those word choices or those appeals to emotion allow him to be persuasive. The last thing you need is a tie-in paragraph, tie-in sentence of some kind, and some people call it a clincher sentence. I call it a tie-in because tie-in starts with T, and that makes my acronym work. So, a tie-in sentence is something that closes your paragraph in a way that relates to your essay's main focus. Now, if this was a longer essay, your tie-in sentence, you would want that to connect back with your thesis for your essay. You're just writing one paragraph, so you need your tie-in to somehow connect back with your topic sentence, okay? So again, it's just something that closes things out in a way that reminds the reader what your main focus was for your paragraph. Now, realistically, your paragraph might end up looking something more like this. You have a topic sentence, and then you have some evidence from the text, which you then explain, and then you have another piece of evidence from the text, which you then explain, and maybe a third piece of evidence, which you then explain, before ultimately having this tie-in sentence at the end. And that's okay. As long as you establish a clear focus at the beginning, you close your paragraph in a way that ties everything back together, and in the middle is where you're providing this evidence and you're analyzing it. That's okay. You might find organizationally it doesn't make a lot of sense for you to give like 3 very different pieces of evidence and then try to explain all of them. It might make more sense to give one piece of evidence and explain it, and then another and explain it. Okay, whatever works for you, as long as you are, again, text focused, you are remaining on task with what you established in your topic sentence. You're not talking about multiple different rhetorical strategies that he's using, and you are ultimately just analyzing how the author is attempting to be persuasive. So today, you're going to write that paragraph. You're going to go back to your article. You're going to look at the notes that you already took, the things you've already underlined, and you're going to make a decision about what you want to focus on in your paragraph. Do you want to focus on how he uses evidence? Do you want to focus on how he uses reasoning? Do you want to focus on more stylistic, persuasive elements? And write one paragraph about how that element that you choose, or that feature that you choose, allows Harris to build an argument to persuade his audience. And that is your task for the day, and I will see you next time.